So we're back.
Yep.
Kind of proved you as a liar last episode when we said it's every Sunday and it's Tuesday night.
And whose fault is that?
It's neither of our faults. It's just we're not getting paid to do this, so it's kind of whenever we have the time to do it.
Yeah, but who was the one that broke it? You were the one that was working, man.
Well, I thought Saturday was Sunday, and if it had been, we would have recorded fine. I just wanted to fit the True Detective finale in. We could have been a day early.
So how did that go?
It wasn't bad. It was really interesting.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, it was 90 minutes long, and not a lot happens. Like, so I read someone else say something like, it's like 30 minutes of story in a 90-minute episode. Some really interesting character development, or not development, but ends.
All right, well, here's what I want to know. Was it worth it?
Not all of it, but there's some really interesting chemistry there, especially between Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell. I really like their dynamic. Also, Vince Vaughn and his wife. The rest of it, There's a couple mysteries that they really leave unsolved.
I mean, dude, I haven't seen the show, but you just sound really underwhelmed by it.
It wasn't anything special. It wasn't like the first season.
So it's not really worth my time. It's not worth checking out.
I'd check it out for Vince Vaughn. Like he gives a really interesting performance. I like his character. They kind of I know you haven't seen it, but the Daredevil show on Netflix, the way that they portray the Kingpin on it and his relationship, it has a very similar kind of tone and angle to it. Very interesting, like what goes on through the head of someone who, in the public's image, is seen as a bad person.
Yeah, I still gotta see that. I really want to I love the I love the movie that came out.
Yeah,
10
that
years
first
ago.
one.
Specifically the director's cut. Like I love almost everything about it. Like
It's a good movie.
I mean, even Michael Clark Duncan. Like I
Yeah,
feel
he's
like
a good Kingpin.
as great casting as Vincent D'Onofrio sounds, it's like I feel like in my mind I just keep wanting to think Michael Clark Duncan is it. I mean, he did a great job too, and also rest in peace. That guy was a great actor.
Yeah. Speaking of resting in peace, you know what today is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 year ago.
I haven't seen any of Robin Williams' films in this 1 year span. I'm thinking about watching Good Will Hunting tonight.
Yeah. I almost watched The World According to Garp, but then just life got in the way and I got too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to watch it, man. From what you told me,
It's very good. It's kind of not similar to anything else he's done, but the character is 100% him, even though he's at the beginning of his career. Yesterday they announced that Leonardo DiCaprio finally might have found a director for his Devil in the White City adaptation, Martin Scorsese.
Oh, is that a big shocker?
Kinda. I mean, I still don't know how that adaptation is going to go. I read it about a year ago. It's one half true crime and one half nonfiction. It's both about how the city of Chicago kind of came back into prosperity after the Great Fire, and it's revolving around the World's Fair of, 1892, I believe. So really interesting stuff. And then the other half is about the serial killer who's taking advantage of the city. So I'm guessing that's what they're going to do. It's just going to be Leo playing John H.H. Holmes and killing people, which is going to be a fine movie, I have no doubt. It's like their seventh adaptation. I'm not really a fan of The Aviator or Shutter Island, but they definitely know how to work well together. I would really like to see the cityscape stuff and how it, like, show them how the Ferris wheel is made and Pabst Blue Ribbon, for that matter, or
I mean, for what you're saying, like, I have no familiarity with the material, but I mean, it sounds like a Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
Like,
if it was New York, it'd be a shoo-in.
Yeah. I mean, and like, especially with Leo, it's like, that's why I say, like, well, it doesn't sound like a surprise. It seems like those are just two ingredients that go together and they work perfectly every time. Unlike you, I am a fan of Shutter Island. I haven't seen The Aviator in a long time, but I was a fan of it back then.
I really liked the mystery going on Shutter Island. I just didn't like the payoff.
I love the payoff. I mean, the payoff is what makes the movie worth revisiting for me. Like, it's because it's a completely different movie. I mean, it's not just, it's, it is fun looking at all those little things and seeing how, you realize that the payoff was inevitable, but it's a completely different movie when you rewatch it, and it works.
Because you know what's going on.
Yeah. And
like in a Sixth Sense type of way.
Yeah, and then you can just look at how, you can look at it as a character study after that, and it works really, really well. I mean, so my point is it seems like another. It'll probably be another solid collaboration between
Yeah,
DiCaprio and Scorsese. I mean, they basically go hand in hand at this point. I'm sure it'll do well.
I hope it does well. I'm like I said, I'm just curious where the script's going. I'd like to see a balance, but I'm pretty sure because there's enough going on there, especially because it's a true story. The whole novel's a true story, but there's enough going on with the actual mystery and how the killer got away with it and that kind of stuff to satisfy the audiences. But like I said, we'll see.
How many fucks do you think it's gonna have?
I don't know. I hope not that many. Talking giving fucks. Bill Murray's supposedly going to show up in the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, apparently they're all showing up as cameos, but not as the. Well, I don't know. The thing I heard was that they're not showing up as their original characters.
What?
That's what I heard.
That doesn't even make sense. Or maybe
Yeah,
it's a
no.
Star Trek thing. It's a parallel universe, and it's just like they're there.
They're there for fan service, but I don't know. I mean, that would suck. I'd
stupid.
love to see what they're
I want
up to.
I want to see the heritage where it's like, and this is why we started busting ghosts because of these four guys.
Yeah, seriously.
But I don't know. No one knows. It's about a year away.
Now, I don't know if you have this on your list, but the big news that I saw over the week:
Bad Boys 3 and 4?
Bad Boys 3 and 4.
Yeah. Sony released
Which-
a
God
big
damn,
calendar,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Including which Jumanji is getting adapted again. And I hate when people say remake. You can't remake a novel. It was a kid's picture book that they made into a movie, and this is another version of that book.
Well, not only that, but we just talked about Robin Williams earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, something just seems inherently wrong about doing that because a big part of the appeal for Jumanji for me is that he's in it.
Yeah, it's just I love that movie. It's just
Yeah.
very even the CG stands up like really well. Like the
That
rhino
movie scared
stuff
the
and the
shit
monkeys.
out of me as a kid.
Yeah. Zathura is pretty interesting too. Not doesn't really have the same amount of charm.
No, but it's still it holds its own though.
Yeah, I think John Favreau. I mean, if it wasn't for that film and Elf, he wouldn't have done anything else. So
He would have done Iron Man.
exactly.
No.
Yeah, Sony, they put a lot of movies on that calendar. There's like a Diablo Cody scripted Barbie film, obviously the Uncharted video game that they've been working on for a while, the two Bad Boys movies, as we said. Let me pull it up. I know there's a couple other interesting things.
Well, here's the thing about the Bad Boys movies that I think you've I don't know if this is a sure thing in yet, but I know that Joe Carnahan is he's at least supposed to write
Uh-huh.
3, and he might be brought in to direct because they can't afford to have Michael Bay do it, which is a real bummer, kind of. But at the same time, though, I mean, you haven't seen The Gray yet, have you?
No, I'm still...
No, you're still you're getting closer.
Yeah,
to it.
give me a couple more weeks. Who knows? I'll watch it eventually.
Nah, man. I mean, if anyone could do it, if anyone could replace Bay, I think Carnahan could do it because he's, you've seen the A-Team, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
I mean, yeah, and I think he could do that. He could make a fun, trashy little action movie, and also just a big part of the A-Team was that the characters in there, they had great chemistry, and you already have Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
Mm-hmm. Who knows if they're going to return, though?
I mean, yeah, no, they have to. Martin Lawrence will, at least.
Maybe.
And I think
know.
Will Smith is set to come back. But I mean, the thing is, I think, when, me and a lot of other people, I don't know how you feel about this, but Bad Boys 2 is, it's kind of a cult classic, if that's even what I want to call it. But, it has its audience, you know what I mean?
I haven't seen it in so long.
There's a lot of people that appreciate it. And, I mean, with good reason, too, that freeway chase, that's still probably one of, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to say that's the best car chase, of this century.
Better than The Matrix Reloaded.
God damn it.
That's a pretty good one in Reloaded with the twins.
Okay, they're pretty good. Those are the two best ones, I guess.
There's a good
they
amount
came
out
out
there.
that same year, though, too.
Was it the same year? Or they both
yeah,
2001?
it was the same year, 2003.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, yeah, that's great. But, a big part of the appeal for me is bringing Bay back in. And, if you do Bad Boys 3, if you do Bad Boys 3, there's that expectation of, well, you can't, make it not as good as all the crazy shit that happens in 2.
Just make it an IMAX.
I mean, that is, yeah, I know, but you need really ridiculous, over the top, crazy, excessive action sequences to hold up it on its own, pretty close to Bad Boys 2. I think that Joe Carnahan can at least, he's probably, outside of Michael Bay, he's a guy that could actually do that.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Story got it. That doesn't sound that crazy to me, especially It is kind of the same audience, except it's less comedic.
Yeah, but really, Tim's story of Ride Along?
I don't, yeah, well, Ride Along and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the action chops to do it. I
Eh,
don't think. I mean,
I don't know.
you have to go excessive. I think he can do a coherent action sequence with I think even Ride Along, like I wouldn't call the action exciting in there, but it was coherent. And Fantastic Four, it was decent, but
Better action than this past one.
I mean, no, like Bad Boys 3, you have to go excessive and over the top. You can't backtrack with that. Otherwise, what would have been the point waiting all these years?
Hmm.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
I know what you mean. But yeah, also on the calendar, the Resident Evil 6, which apparently is the last one. They said that about the last one, too. The Dark Tower is finally going to happen.
How long have we been hearing about that for Dark Tower?
Dark Tower forever. I mean, it's
Is
about
Ron
as
Howard,
long. I don't know. Who knows? It's a
you
mystery.
don't know if he's attached to it?
I'm pretty sure he's still producing. I would
Probably.
doubt that it would go and turn around and he'd lose that credit. But, I'm not in the industry. I don't know. It's just a date.
I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. But I mean, they already gave it a release date, so that should be a good sign.
Who knows?
But then
Uncharted.
again,
This is like
they
Uncharted's
also,
third release date, so.
I mean, then again, I don't know. Having release dates isn't that reliable anymore. Fantastic Four 2, that's still up as far as I know.
Fox apparently is trying to write off the film for $60 million, and they still plan on making the next one. So maybe it was just a cash grab, like they couldn't make money on it, so they decided not to lose it. I don't know how that works.
And like, what do you?
I'm not
I don't know.
alone
I
on this
feel like-
shit, okay? Like, I felt bad for every customer. Last night I was selling tickets for about 30 minutes. They're moving me around all over the theater. And one of the guests I bought it, I said, I usually say, like, oh, have a good time, enjoy your show. I just said, I hope you enjoy it. Or I hope you like it. Because
that's good. I mean,
it has the lowest cinema score in superhero movie history. How do you do that?
it also tanked
Yeah.
really bad.
It made less than 30 million here and, like, less than 70 globally.
It came in second after Mission
yeah,
Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Like, that is bad.
Perhaps Fox
Like,
should have released it in 3D to try to get more money.
I don't know why they canceled that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe because they were doing reshoots or something. Like,
Or
I think
maybe
I read
because
some
there's
about
no
that.
reason for 3D in the film, it would have been wasted.
Well, yeah, but that's even for good movies. There's no reason for 3D, and they put it out anyway as a cash grab.
Mad Max, there was a reason.
Yeah, there was a reason. Fuck, I don't know what other movie came out with. I don't know. Pixels. There really wasn't that much of a reason. Or no.
It'll look good.
Inside Out.
Yeah, inside. Well, they do all the Pixar movies in 3D now.
Yeah, no, they keep rendering them, but like I don't. There wasn't really. It didn't feel like it was narratively woven into it. Like
I do want to know if that that 2D animation, the Picasso scene, if that worked just as well in 2D. I doubt it did, because that was probably the standout moment for me with the glasses
yeah,
on.
definitely.
It was worth the price of admission, just that.
Did I tell you like? I don't know. We talked about the trailer for The Good Dinosaur, right?
Yeah, I finally saw it. It looked
Did you see
gorgeous.
that in 3D?
I didn't know. I didn't see it in 3D. I missed it.
Oh, dude, like that was probably the highlight of when I saw Pixels.
Yeah, no,
was seeing that trailer.
You said
in
that
3D.
in your Letterboxd review.
No, I mean like it looks animated in 2D, but like in 3D, it seriously looks pretty damn photoreal. Like it's scary how good it looks. So I really, really hope that the movie like ends up being really good. I'm sure visually it will hold up.
Yeah, visually, so 4K Blu-ray is coming this holiday season, which includes not mastered in 4K like Sony does for a lot of things, like there's Spider-Man movies and things along those natures, but true 4K Blu-ray is going to be a new format, and it's going to include high dynamic range and high frame rate. So obviously you can't do all three at the same time, but like cause you're not going to be able to do 3D and HDR. But who knows? Or maybe you will. I don't know. It's up in the air about what's going to happen.
Well, eventually they'll get there.
Yeah, eventually. But this is exciting, especially for, I'd love to get something like Mad Max on 4K Blu-ray. Because 4K is still in it. It's not in its infancy, but it's still, baby steps.
Yeah, I mean, where do you think? I really don't know where this whole, as far as resolution, where it's going to end. Like right now, because 4K at home, I'm just still kind of like, I just don't feel I need it.
I want it. Well, I never bought HDTV. I got one like given to me. So when I buy my next TV, I'm gonna get a 4K 3D because when you do 3D and 4K, you still get 1080p per eye. So that's a big draw. So that's really interesting for me. And then I don't know. It's like you said, 1080p looks good enough. I mean, 4K is special for if you actually film on film because when they do the DI, they do a 4K scan, so you're getting the
Well,
exact
specifically
perfect thing.
anamorphic film.
Yeah,
Like yeah, if you shoot like Super 35, I think that only outputs to 2K. So it really depends on what film stock you're using.
bigger's better. I mean, 8K is already out there. They have 8K displays, so it's like you
Yeah,
said.
that's
Who
in
knows when it's
Japan
going to
though,
end?
right?
Yeah, it's called like super ultra high definition or something.
I
Um,
mean, it's amazing like that we have access to this stuff,
yeah.
but like I don't think like having like the highest one that's not going to be the standard or it shouldn't be. That would
Eight,
be too weird.
I can't imagine anything going past 8K because once you go past that resolution, the human eye can't tell the difference. I don't even know what the pixels per inch is. It's something ridiculous, like 500.
Now, like what I'm curious about, like, and I sort of I don't know. I kind of let me start this over. Yeah, okay. High frame rate is
Yeah,
what I'm trying to talk about. Like
it's rare. I don't think it's
I
gonna
sort
catch
of
on.
well, I sort of saw like I stumbled upon an article, like an older one that had to do with just reactions to The Hobbit.
Yeah, you saw all three in HFR,
I
right?
did, and I reread that, and like I don't know, it kind of got me thinking that with frame rate, maybe people can play and experiment with it, like where different scenes run at different frame rates. Maybe that's something
Hmm.
that we could see happening. That's something that I think would be interesting to see how that worked out, as opposed to just having one film, running at a specific frame rate the whole time. Because that's like for something like The Hobbit, that just
Was it
it
overkill?
felt pretty wrong. Like if it was just like it's beautiful in some shots, and then it's some where it doesn't help like having something that's supposed to look real and move like it's real, like and
But
watching
it's not real.
Legolas, yeah, they're just clearly defying the laws of physics, and then the CGI looks so much more fake. It For The Hobbit, it didn't really work for me.
I
It
think it
just
will
kind
for
of killed
Avatar.
some moments.
I've still yet to watch a theatrical release in high frame rate. So Avatar 2 is probably going to be my first one unless something else comes out, but I doubt it.
Ang Lee's shooting his current film, I think, at 100 frames a second.
Wow. I
Yeah,
would hate to edit that. That would be a fucking pain in the ass.
I want to see what that's gonna look like.
Right? Because the human
Yeah.
eye doesn't even. We can't notice. Like, motion doesn't move that fast. That's faster than perception is or some crap like that. I don't know how it works.
I don't know. I think they've already screened some footage at 100 frames, and word on the street, of course, is with any new
Oh
technology
my
is that
god.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of course it looks new. Like we don't know if it looks good, but we know
Yeah.
it'll look different.
Well, I like that. I mean, I don't like the debate that happens in video games. It's like it's no longer good enough if a game is released in 1080p. It also has to be 60 frames per second. And if you're on computing, like if you're on a desktop computer, it has to be 4K and 60 frames. If I'm not playing like a racing video game or something like that, or like shooting, I don't really give a shit. Because like people are complaining, not complaining, but there's people out there like, oh, Uncharted 4 isn't going to be 60 frames. Like you don't need 60. 30's still faster than movies are.
Why do people give a shit about all this
Because
stuff?
it's
Like,
numbers. It's something you can measure dicks with.
I mean, like yeah, I get that a lot of people, like especially nowadays, they want the best tech that they can have,
Yeah.
but it just seems weirdly obsessive for like all the wrong reasons. They care more about the technical aspects rather than the material itself.
It's stupid.
I mean, it's like, there's people that will specifically like look at Blu-ray.com and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to buy it unless it gets 5 stars." Which, yeah, no, I've dealt with that before, like especially in the early days of Blu-ray, which
Yeah. Well, I get it back
you
then
know,
because there were a lot of bad scans or just bare bones discs. I wish they brought back BD Live with the commentaries. 'Cause I remember Zack Snyder did it for like Watchmen, and then
I don't even know
there
if
was
I
like
can
one or
still
two other
access
ones.
that.
Yeah, it's probably dead. But I
Yeah.
remember when I read about it, I was like, well, that sounds really cool. That could actually go somewhere. But
The
it
idea that
didn't.
it's cool, but like I think another alternative to that's probably a bit more practical, even though it doesn't help the studios make any money. Is that
Syncing with YouTube.
yeah, some filmmakers have just uploaded podcasts. I think Darren Aronofsky did that for The Fountain. Like if you want an audio commentary for that, that's available online. You can't.
That's cool.
It's not on the Blu-ray. It's not on the DVD. I mean, yeah, and there's quite a few like that. There's even podcasts that do that. We tried to do that.
We
So,
did do it. We just failed. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it drunkenly for Ghost Rider many years ago.
That was easy for you though because you were in the same room.
Yeah.
So there was not as many technical
Exactly.
glitches and whatnot.
The technical glitches. Lionsgate announced that they were gonna bring John Wick into virtual reality. Starbreeze, the developer that is most famously known for making Payday and Payday 2, they already kind of have a connection there. They did John Wick DLC for it. And so there's going to be a first-person virtual reality game sometime next year about the property that I'm most excited about from the last couple of years.
You know what? I would definitely try that out.
Right? Doesn't that just sound exciting?
Like, I don't give a shit about John Wick, but you know what? That I'd be willing to give a shot.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, just that character in VR, just something about
There's
that
something
makes
about
sense. Yeah.
I hope it works. Who knows? Who knows how? It depends how expensive it is. You know, if it's like $15, I'd buy it. But if they want like 150,
You know what?
I don't know.
I think that's the thing that, if you want to sell me on VR, you just have to make John Wick really, really fucking good.
I mean, it's John Wick.
That's
The sequel's coming soon. I doubt it's gonna be bad. Man, I love that movie. I want it. I love the world more than the movie.
Yeah, but do you think they can top that? Like, that was my problem with John Wick, is that every action beat felt the same.
I don't know. I want the
Like,
prequel.
none of the
I've
action
said this
scenes.
before. I don't really care about the action. I didn't really care about the story. I just love that world. I think it was created so well, and there's a ton of stories to be told there. It'd be a great TV show.
Fair enough.
Anyway, something else in VR. Ready Player One, the movie that I'm excited about, that Steven Spielberg is helming, has a release date December 15th, 2017. It's coming out sometime after the BFG, obviously.
No, isn't he shooting that right now?
He might be. I know he's still wrapping Bridge of Spies.
Yeah, I don't know if that's slated for, like, this year. I mean, he's pretty good at putting together two movies in 1 year.
So yeah, BFG could be. I think it would be like a May 2017 kind of movie, because it's Disney, and I doubt that they would release something mid next year without announcing it yet.
I mean, yeah, plus they're already set for the holiday season.
Yeah.
They don't need anything else.
But yeah, I've talked about that novel before. Really good read. Ernest Cline just had a second novel released about a month and a half ago, Armada, which is kind of like The Last Starfighter. And then he just got a 7-figure deal for writing his next one, which is crazy. But yeah, Ready Player One, like really, really good read. Especially if you're interested in like RPGs, VR, The Matrix, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, Easter eggs, really fun stuff going there. I think it's gonna be a really good movie. It's just I've talked about this before. I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna work in terms of the Roger Rabbit, tons of references going on, but it's Steven Spielberg, so I'm sure he'll find a way.
I mean, he'll try something different. Like even if he doesn't succeed, like I think it's not like any of his movies have ended up conventionally bad.
1941 is supposed to be really bad.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, I haven't
forever.
seen it.
Like,
I've never seen it.
But
I've seen the
but I
scene
mean-
of the Ferris wheel rolling around down the boardwalk, and that looks pretty cool.
yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: even a bad movie from Spielberg is a bad Spielberg movie. It's not really a bad movie. Like I didn't care that much for Warhorse, honestly.
I
Like
skipped
I
that
thought
one.
it was. Yeah, I thought it was way too sappy, but even then I have to credit some of that movie for, like, I think it kind of succeeded in what it wanted to do, and you can definitely feel that Spielberg hand in there. Like, at least he's making it his own way. He's not really pandering to an audience and just not giving a shit. So, at the very least, it'll be a Spielberg movie.
Yeah. I think he has the perfect voice for it. Like, this would be, to me, it seems like a Chris Columbus movie from his prime. It has to have a really grand and fun tone to it.
I wonder what he's gonna do now.
Who?
Chris Columbus.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, God, Pixels was just such a bummer, but I don't really want to say it's his fault.
Yeah, he didn't do a bad job. I think
Yeah.
he did just about as good as he could have.
I mean, he elevated that movie.
Yeah.
If anything, yeah.
His hands were definitely on that opening sequence. Like, if they could just took that kind of energy and had the rest of the film have that instead of Adam Sandler making jokes about him not brushing his teeth, then
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Got that Netflix deal to look forward
Yeah.
to.
there's a lot
At least
of
he won't be on screens anymore.
yeah, well, not on big screens. There's a lot of director talk this week. Woody Allen's got a new one. Well, surprise, surprise, a new year, new movie. His latest Irrational Man just came out this weekend. Nothing about it. Just no Joaquin Phoenix is in it. But yeah, Bruce Willis is going to be in a Woody Allen movie.
No, is that the one that just came out, though?
No, Rational Man's the one that just came out. Next one,
Yes.
that's untitled, has Bruce Willis in it, along with like Emma Stone and Jesse Eisenberg.
You sure that's not the TV show that he's doing for
No,
Amazon?
no, it's not the Amazon thing. Bruce Willis is going to be in this movie.
All right.
I'm excited about that. That's gonna be really
Anything with Bruce
interesting.
Willis, yeah. Like he's never worked with him, has he?
No, I think it's a good match. I don't think
Do you
enough
think he
people
can do the
use.
dialogue?
Yeah, I don't think enough people use the funny side of Bruce Willis.
No.
He's
Like
usually like the tough guy that makes wisecracks. It's kind of like the Robert De Niro thing, all the way up until Meet the Parents, or like Analyze This. Even though those are still like the tough guy role, as long as it's more Midnight in Paris and less. What the hell is that one called?
Blue Jasmine.
No, not Blue Jasmine. The other one, the not When in Rome. Um,
One from last year.
yeah, it was something like that. Not When in
Yeah,
Rome.
that was what Colin Firth and
No, I'm thinking the one with Alec Baldwin. What's the name of this movie? It was not good. Yeah, it's A Rome with Love. Not good.
hopefully he uses Bruce Willis right, and hopefully it's good Woody Allen.
Yeah, that's it. More Midnight in Paris.
Because I think I heard bad stuff about Irrational Man.
Haven't seen. It's Joaquin Phoenix. I don't. He's usually hit or miss.
I considered seeing it, but I heard it was bad stuff. Oh yeah, did I tell you this? I saw The Gift.
Oh, you actually saw it?
I did.
Was it good?
No,
Everyone in the world saying it's good.
I know. Which it's funny. I guess if you want to agree with me more about this, because you might like it, but of all weekends, like I'm the one guy that sort of likes Fantastic Four, while everyone else hates it, and
Something
I'm the
wrong
guy
with
that
you.
doesn't. Evidently, yeah, I'm the guy that doesn't like The Gift. I mean, I think you look at the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes. It says some along the lines of, "Oh, it's a really good thriller. It actually has really good surprises." It does not. It's cliche as fuck.
Like Rosemary
Like,
Baby
it's
cliche, or
how is that comparable?
I don't know.
No, it's total trash, though. I mean, here's the thing: if we're talking about twist endings, like, and I don't want to say what it is, but like, when it happens, like that could have been like great enough to redeem the entire movie for me. Like that could have been Old Boy good.
But they fucked
That's
up.
how fucking crazy awesome the twist is. But then it just decides to end it on an ambiguous note. Oh, let's leave you to think about this anti-bullying message, and which has no fucking effect because every fucking person in this movie is awful. Like every person is a piece of shit. So I can't sympathize with anybody. I don't give a shit about anybody. So like the message has no effect on me, even though it's a good message, and I can appreciate like Joel Edgerton trying to present it. But like it was just a trashy thriller, a trashy, like admittedly well made, fairly well shot, well acted thriller. But it really left no impression on me.
I might still check it out. Not in theaters, but I'll probably watch it at home whenever it lands.
I mean, yeah, though, honestly, like, the only reason I can think of why it's getting a rating so high is probably because of the ending, because that almost did get me to, like, bump my rating up probably, like, a full, like, 2 stars, maybe.
Oh wow.
Or I don't know what my rating is on Letterboxd right now. Like, I think it's 2.5, like, because I was fairly kind to it, but, I'm forgetting it, like, right away. Like, everything in there is cliche as fuck. All the jump scares are so cheap, like, they're fun, but they're cheap. There's no surprises at all for me. I kind of made like guesses right when something was going to happen. And I don't like to be one of those viewers that like nitpicks. Oh, I knew what was going to happen, but
But you
like I
did.
thought about. Yeah, it's like I thought about ahead of time of like, oh, it would make sense if this character is doing that. It's like, like just as a thriller, it's not fun if you're guessing what's going to happen.
Yeah, the movie's supposed to take you past that.
Yeah,
You're lost
I mean.
in it.
Like, but I have to say, like, I got to give him credit for at least how the performances, and even though these characters are mostly scum, he writes them fairly well. That I'm at least interested to see how they're going to react to what happens. Even though that didn't, in the end, it just didn't prove to be worthwhile for me. But a lot of people are digging The Gift, so I mean, yeah, I'm sure you're gonna check it out. You're probably gonna find some to enjoy in it because you hated the shit out of Fantastic Four.
Well, yeah,
I'm clearly the exact opposite of everybody here this past weekend. So
I don't plan on going to the movies again until this weekend. I'm going to see Straight Outta Compton, which we're doing a review for. Man from U.N.C.L.E. Want to review that too?
I don't know. Maybe I
want to see
I
it in
gotta ask you
IMAX.
about this because I did see the end of the tour.
Yeah, that's not at my theater yet.
Okay, yeah. Are you gonna get it?
I don't know.
Well, look,
We
all I'm gonna
might get
say,
it. I could check right now. We might get it this weekend.
I'm just gonna talk about this briefly here, and I'll talk about this in the very superficial way that everybody else has been talking about it. Look, it really is that good. It's as good as people have been talking about, and like I think that this is, as far as I know, like this is the earliest film this year to get Oscar buzz. At least as far as performances, because I think Jason Segel absolutely like
Just
just based
nails
on that
it.
standard. Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him an Oscar push, and if he got nominated, I'd be happy to see that because, I mean, it's not like this isn't a performance where you're watching it and you're aware of who the actor is and you're just wowed by what they do, but this is a performance where you watch it and you forget that it's Jason Segel because he just inhabits this guy so well. Like it really feels like that guy, and it's not till you're walking out and digesting everything that you realize how fucking good of a job he did.
I mean, I guess Southpaw's also in that discussion.
I'd pick Jason Segel, honestly, but that's because I think that The End of the Tour is a stronger film than Southpaw.
My film doesn't. I mean, my theater doesn't have it listed yet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I
All
like
right.
most of what Jason Segel does, especially the Muppets. So
No, I'm looking forward to reviewing it, but yeah, I'll see Man from Uncle, I guess, if that's all we got.
yeah, sorry about that. So
Nah,
two other directors got other slates. Coen Brothers. They got a successor to Hail Caesar, even though it's not out yet. For some reason, it's also being released in February, I believe.
really?
Yeah, that's weird. Especially,
What's the reason for
I
that?
don't know. Especially since maybe they wanted an awards push, but they couldn't get it done in time.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, that's usually a
Unless,
bad sign.
yeah, I mean, remember what happened to Monuments Men?
Yeah, or fuck Shutter Island for that matter.
Yeah, although Shutter Island actually ended up being fucking good.
What's your opinion?
No, it's real. I love that movie, dude.
And one other guy behind the camera, Brad Payton, the guy who in our conversation about San Andreas, or not San Andreas, our Aloha 1 cent bonus episode, you said he doesn't really have a tour mode yet. You know, he doesn't really have a vision. Apparently, he does. He's got that Rampage movie, and he's making something for Sony about the military.
Well, hey, we'll see what happens. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm all for original stuff and original voices. I mean, the guy's like he's done two big movies, like two big studio movies.
Mhm.
He can handle a budget.
Yeah.
He can get a studio to give him a budget, so that's cool. I think, like that's absolutely worth looking forward to.
Yeah, maybe not as looking forward to as the Pez movie. That's the opposite of what you just said. You heard about this, right?
I saw a headline. Is someone directing that?
I don't know yet. I don't even know who's behind it. But like
Is it just in development?
in concordance with Sony's Emoji movie, like, it's like they don't even care about properties now. It's just whatever. I think Pez could make for a really interested animated film, like along the lines of Lego Movie, who has that same kind of tone. Especially if it's someone like Warner Brothers behind it, because then you could get the properties for all the Pez, like like Scooby Doo and Batman and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, I'm eating.
Nice. I mean, there's like people act like product placements and movies based on products themselves are a new thing. Disney made a franchise about a talking Volkswagen Beetle. We're not talking, but like alive. Like Herbie the Love Bug was a big franchise. That's where Jodie Foster got her start. Like that and Freaky Friday. So
I mean, like fucking product placement in general, like no one bitches about it as long as the product ends up being good.
or if it's barely
mean-
noticeable, like when you see the Coca-Cola billboards in Michael Bay movies or whatever.
I mean, like, yeah, but also you look at those ones are actually pretty obvious.
Yeah.
He fetishizes his products. Like they literally, I can't remember.
It's not
what
like in the
movie it is, but
Island.
No.
It's like there's that car, whatever car it is, a Mercedes or whatever in the Island. It's straight up like a commercial for it in the middle of
it
the
was a
movie.
beautiful car, yeah, and it was
Kinda-
that's a 2015 car too.
Yeah, kind of like in iRobot, how they do the Audi. Except I really like that Audi. That Audi became
Yeah.
the R8, which you see all over the place. So I guess it worked.
Yeah, but I mean, product placement in general. I mean, like, okay, Pez. Like, if you get someone like Chris Miller and Phil Lord to do it,
Yeah, it'd be
then
great.
I mean, the Lego Movie basically was product placement.
Yeah, well, it is
product and
like,
franchise placement.
yeah,
Like,
the whole
yeah.
movie is about the toys and how you play with them. Like, what side of the mental divide do you use? I use the blueprints too. So, yeah. It's like I think that was they actually tweeted about this. One of them, I think it was Chris Miller. He's like, everyone's gonna blame the kids that made the movie about the plane blocks, huh?
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as the business decision, like, it's true. It totally does look cynical. Like, it's just a total cash grab. But if someone can make that work well artistically, then that'd be really fucking cool.
yeah.
I mean, because point at the Lego Movie. That is something that no one really had any faith in whatsoever. Like they were just kind of making jokes about it, and
Turned out to be really fun, really good.
yeah, I was actually like hoping it'd be good the whole time because it was from the guys that did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and 21 Jump Street. So, I mean, yeah, fuck yeah, that movie turned out to be good. That's really the only way that this could go down. If it's bad, then it'll just be another thing people fucking criticize Hollywood for, and if it's good, then people will be fucking amazed that something like
Yeah.
that could have been good in the first
It's
place.
a slippery slope. Either it's really good and it's surprising, or it's bad and oh, I told you so.
I mean, yeah, it's a challenge, so whoever takes it up, I mean, hopefully they try their damnedest to make sure that it works instead of just throw it out there like, make it a
I think
disposable
that
film.
Angry Birds movie's coming out in a couple of months. I'm pretty sure it's beginning of next year.
Is there a trailer yet?
I don't think so. I think he'll actually be good. I'm not planning to watch it because I think making a video game adaptation for a mobile video game is kind of pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, but then by that logic, making a movie based off brick toys, that's...
Well, I don't know. It's just the
At
whole
least Angry Birds has, like, a story, kind of.
sorta, but I'm just saying the whole concept. Like mobile video games have only like on cell phones anyway have only existed for like 5 years. It's crazy that there's already one that's got an adaptation like it's coming out. But other adaptations on the comic book front, I like to talk about this stuff. I think we both do. Two of the Batfleck's films on his calendar have been pushed back or put on hiatus. The Live by Night and I can't remember the name of the other one. So obviously this is speculation that they're ramping up the Cape Crusader solo films at Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they want to do a Bat trilogy with him now.
Yeah, that's the rumor, which totally makes sense, especially because they showed footage for Batman vs Superman, or maybe it was like a first cut or something. The reaction was crazy, but it was a cast and crew screening. So
I wonder what that contract is because it seems like he's just stuck as Batman now. Like,
no, I mean it's
in every
open
single
ended.
job.
He's doing this. He's doing Justice League 1 and 2. He's probably got 1 or 2 solo films in there. But he already had such a big connection with Warner Brothers. I'm pretty sure they like didn't even give him a contract. They just said, "Look, we love you. We'd love you as Batman. Keep working with us. It'll be good." Like he's the equivalent of the Hollywood star system now in terms of like when you'd have the studio contract. He's kind of that guy. He obviously he can work wherever he want, but like Argo or Gone Baby Gone.
It's just tougher to put that time in though. Like it seems like he's just kind of stuck doing that because they're always going to be shooting him.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he's got time now since he left his wife, so.
That's official.
Yeah, that's official. They've filed. There's like pictures this weekend of him with the maid or nanny or whatever it is, and she's like wearing Tom Brady's Super Bowl rings, which is really weird.
Well, damn. I mean, I'm not one for that gossip, but that just, I don't know.
Yeah,
that kind of hurts. I'm not going to
I
watch
think
Daredevil the same way.
it has something to do, like, the Daredevil couple doesn't matter anymore since he's now Batman.
That hurts, man. Like, I keep trying to defend Daredevil, too, and even he's bad-mouthing it.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, he expresses regret. I swear that he's talking about the theatrical cut, though, too. Because he specifically mentions like that he didn't like how that movie got fucked with, and I swear that that sounds like a studio thing.
Maybe. I still haven't seen
the director's cut of that movie is so fucking good.
I still haven't
dude,
seen the
watch
director's cut. I like the theatrical version. I own the DVD. It was one of those
I did
movies
too.
where I saw it in theaters and I went, I need to buy that, and I bought it like that Tuesday whenever it came out.
I did too. And
wanted
then
it
I grew
really
up and I
bad.
saw I saw the theatrical cut, and then like I realized, oh, this is stupid. Then I saw the director's cut, and I was like, you know what, childhood saved.
No, I defend the shit out of that movie. Like I remember I was like doing something at school, like, in high school after school, like wasting time, and I brought my portable DVD player and some DVDs. I'm like, oh, what'd you bring? And it was like something and Daredevil. And they went, why the hell do you have Daredevil? I was like, why not?
Yeah, honestly, like Ben Affleck was doing the Bat voice before Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that he was doing it. In
Daredevil
You can
is
hear it.
Marvel's version of Batman. It's like
Yeah,
him
I mean,
and
you
Black
can hear
Panther.
that voice though. Like I swear that's what Christian Bale was looking at.
Like Daredevil's the reason why I believe that he's going to be a good Batman. I don't know if he'll be a good Bruce Wayne. I'm not sure, but I think he got that face. Like he has that chin. Like he that part of his body looks good in a costume.
I don't see. I'm convinced that all you have to be a good Batman is be a Bruce Wayne, like a good Bruce Wayne.
I mean, I've told you that's
Because
not how it works, though.
yeah, I mean, most of the suit, like honestly, that does the work.
I know, but that's not. It's the
Like you
performance.
just have to bring the physical performance, yeah. And I mean, like obviously there are subtleties there in the performance, but for the most part, you have to be Bruce Wayne
I think
because
the opposite's
that's
true. I think that's how it goes for Superman. I think the best Supermen are the best Clark Kents, and that's why, like Tom Welling doesn't. Hey, he was pretty good. He got the farm boy thing right, but Christopher Reeve, his like Clark Kent is, that is the touchstone. That's the one.
Well, I think this is why it works this way for me is because every single time that I see a superhero on screen, not so much these days because we all know what their like identities are. They don't really keep them secret. But for someone like Batman who has a secret identity, like I'm always aware, hey, that's Bruce Wayne behind that mask. Like that's so for me, that's all you have to be. Like in that suit, I'm always gonna think it's Bruce Wayne just hiding behind that. Like Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm always aware that that's Peter Parker. That's the character that I'm identifying with. That's whose story I'm seeing on screen. That's why for me, like you just have to pull off Bruce Wayne. It like because I just need to believe that Bruce Wayne can step into that suit. That's it.
He doesn't.
I mean, other than that
He's not Bruce Wayne. He's Batman.
No, he's Bruce Wayne.
No, that's the shell.
No, he's Bruce Wayne.
Well, we'll see if he's anything.
He's Bruce Wayne, dude. That's all he's got to be.
The other comic property. I mean, we'll get to something else in a second, but Tom Hardy is apparently producing and probably starring in the 100 Bullets adaptation for New Line. It's part of their Vertigo production unit that's tackling Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Sandman film. It's like they restructured. DC's not using all their properties through Warner Brothers. The Vertigo stuff, Vertigo is like their imprint. It's more dark and mature content.
Stuff like Constantine and V for Vendetta.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
sort of. Constantine, yes, V for Vendetta was a limited series, but yeah, like they tackle their more genre stuff, so that should be pretty interesting. I think it's a really good story. I've only read a couple of the issues, but Brian Azzarello, really fine writer. So that should be good. Especially, it's kind of important because Tom Hardy passed on doing Suicide Squad. But it's nice that he stayed with Warner Brothers. Obviously, he did Mad Max, Inception. He was Bane. And
He's got a good working relationship with them.
yeah, so I'm happy that he was able to get a different comic book property with him. Especially since 100 Bullets is the kind of thing that could have a couple sequels. But the other one, I finally saw the Deadpool trailer.
Oh.
And oh my, does that look like a lot of fun. I'd seen the test footage months ago, which is about half of the trailer, or a little bit less than half. Any of the stuff on the freeway is from the test footage that leaked, which is the reason why the movie basically got to go. But yeah, that looks like it could break the February curse.
Well, Kingsman already did that.
This looks a lot. I don't know. Kingsman.
Yeah, but like this is why I think Deadpool got the R rating. Why they were confident enough in doing it is because Kingsman proved that could happen, and Deadpool is coming out the same weekend as Kingsman.
Was Kingsman Fox?
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's the same weekend too, so I'm convinced that that's what gave them confidence to go ahead and make it rated R.
Well, they also because
they made that announcement right after.
They couldn't do March, so
no. No, I mean, so that's a good weekend for it.
Yeah.
Evidently, Kingsman's proof of that.
Maybe it's like February is the counterbalance for Valentine's Day. That could be part of it, because it's like the 19th, right?
I don't know. I think Kingsman came out Valentine's Day weekend, or I think I saw it on Valentine's Day actually, but it was countered to 50 Shades of Grey.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
That's
perfect
what I said. It's like
programming. Yeah,
the women can kind of try to lead the man in this, and the man can try to lead the women, like equality. Like it's an interesting duality that's going on.
Yeah, so it did have that, but I do think that just based on that trailer, Deadpool's going to have a lot more appeal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already got an audience interested. When I saw Fantastic Four, my crowd reacted to that trailer more than they did the whole fucking movie.
I loved the Green Lantern jab too. That was so good.
Yeah, so it should do well, man. Unless it happens to fucking suck, like
no, it's got to be good. It's got to be good. It just I think
so bad.
I think the reason why they could get away with the shitty movie and bad tone of Fantastic Four is because they knew that they had Deadpool on the horizon. It's like the counterbalance in terms of their universe's tone. I hope, or it's just bad. I don't know. I stopped caring about that movie. I just tell everyone not to watch it.
And I wonder what's gonna happen, like with Trank's career and all that. Like,
Told you he's
I
on the
want him to get
outs.
another shot.
No, I hope he has to go to Kickstarter for his next movie. Do a Zach
I
Braff.
hope he has another shot because, like, I mean, you read the Max Landis thing,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, I told you to read
And
that stuff.
yeah, and I do buy that. Like, I don't know how the system works, but I can see that, on your second movie, you're given that much money to make and it doesn't go well. Like, that's not like, having a sophomore slump. That's not the first time that this has ever happened.
It's beyond sophomore slump, though.
Maybe on this level, yeah, but I mean, I hope that he makes a comeback at least with a lower budget.
Maybe.
And I mean, a lot of people, like, after that tweet, like, even though everyone agrees he shouldn't have fucking said it like that,
Mm-hmm. Or said it at all.
I mean, yeah, I'm rooting for a comeback though.
Well, that's nice, yeah. It's funny because Max Landis, he tweeted the first 4 pages of his like fan fiction Fantastic Four script, and they got better response than the movie did.
Well, the movie's a fucking mess.
Yeah. So this week,
Yeah.
I already said I finished True Detective, so that was okay. It could have been a lot worse. A couple other things I've been up to. I read all of Scott Pilgrim, so in the past week I finished it. Yeah, very, very faithful adaptation there. They skip a good amount of the behind-the-scenes like love connections that are going on. Like they're kind of just passed over in the movie, which makes for better world building. But yeah, it's kind of like what you said last week. If you've seen the movie and you love the movie enough, you're not really going to get anything from the book. But it was a good read.
It's just kind of it's like looking at the storyboard basically.
No, but it does have a lot of the same stuff. Like just the tone, the humor is 100% like very good adaptation. But yeah, it's a good read. Especially, I thought it was interesting because Brian Lee O'Malley, the writer and artist, he was influenced by Ranma Half, which is the only manga I own. I own the first 3 volumes, and I love that. Really interesting concept. Something that I think would make a great adaptation, but it's probably maybe too Japanese slash like too sexualized. It's about a guy who like falls into these hot springs in China, and anytime he touches cold water now, he turns into a girl. Anytime he's a girl and he is hit by hot water, he turns back into a guy. So it's kind of risque. You can't really do that for movie audiences, but really interesting story. It's one of those things I really want to finish, except there's like 27 volumes.
Honestly, and that premise could become more accessible,
right?
Well,
especially with like the transgender divide again broken down.
I mean, absolutely, and I mean, God, what was that trailer? About Ray, I think.
I haven't seen that yet. I know it's Elle Fanning.
Yeah, I saw the trailer yesterday, and it looks that performance looks really good. I mean, I really want to see that.
Well, she's not the only one doing transgender role. You got what's his name from Stephen Hawking's? What's his name?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's also in
Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah.
He's doing another transgender role this year, and he's also in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So he's on both sides of the indie, getting awards and also doing the big movie.
Yes, as far as like a premise, just that could be something that the American public at least will be more open to seeing in mainstream Hollywood.
I mean, like I said, some really interesting stuff. But it already is anime, so. I'm not sure.
I mean, also though that does offer interesting narrative possibilities because that's stuff that I haven't seen before. I don't know how that could be utilized, but that could be interesting.
Yeah, check it out if you're interested. The first volume is pretty short. Like, really, I liked it in middle school.
Yeah, you read more shit like that. I got fucking friends that keep telling me that they fucking are gonna get a mic soon and join the podcast or at least guest on an episode, and I'm like, okay, and where are they now?
Nowhere.
God, yeah. How long have we been doing this? Like 3 months?
Yeah, since May.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, since Tomorrowland's the first one, that's right.
Well, it's Mad Max, technically, so since like May 16th, I believe, was the first attempt.
I go by the ones that actually made it out.
Well, I do it.
I don't count failures. I accept them as failures, but I don't count them as canon.
Whatever. I ingested 2 other things this week. 2 albums, Dr. Dre's Compton, which is the like loose label or loose album for Straight Outta Compton. He said he was influenced by the being on the set and stuff, and Health's Death Magic. Both really good albums. Highly recommend Death Magic by Health. Really interesting industrial like pop music. Like,
It's a good setup for Straight Outta Compton.
the Dr. Dre album, yeah, sorta. Yeah, it's not really NWA stuff, but definitely in that whole Kendrick Lamar like socially conscious stuff, which is relevant because Dr. Dre is kind of the guy who put Kendrick Lamar on the map. So he makes guest appearances and stuff, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
if you're into Dr. Dre, you're not gonna be let down. It's solid, better than Detox probably would have been.
All right, well,
What about you? Would you
shit.
what do you do besides the gift and
That's pretty much it. I've been crazy busy, and we're already coming up near the end here because I literally have to take off
yeah?
in
Where are you
like
going?
less than a minute.
Tease us. I mean, you're already eating on our time.
Yeah, I'm just eating all the food I can because I'm not going to eat for another few hours. Like it's not stuff I want to talk about. It's not
Ooh.
very exciting either. It's a lot of this is stuff to do with moving and just taking care of a bunch of crap. And
That must be your
yep,
time to go.
that must be my time to go. Where can they reach us, Brian?
You can reach us online. We would love some email at $review@gmail.com. Almost messed that up. You can also tweet at us, $review on Twitter. Um, you can find us personally. I'm Brian Gillis. Here with
And
Steve.
I'm at S_MTX on Twitter and the same on Letterboxd.
So thanks for listening. We'll be back very soon, straight out of Compton. I'm shooting to see it probably Thursday night.
All right, yeah. Hopefully we'll get this next episode for 2 cents on time
Yeah,
next time.
next time. Enjoy the show.